I'm going to mute everybody now. Okay. And we'll kick the meeting off. Okay. So welcome to Rogue Gateway Rotary today, the end of the month, end of the first quarter, March 31st. And we have some guests today for our four-way speech competition. So I thought I might just kind of talk about what's going to happen today. We're first going to start out with our pledge and a message of inspiration. And then we'll have some updates and announcements of what's currently happening in our club. And then we're going to have our, you'll hear a bit more from Delynn as she introduces our four-way speech competition. And then we'll wrap the meeting up with our Sergeant at Arms. And members and guests are welcome to stay. I realize people have other schedules, and if they want to drop off, that's certainly fine, but you're certainly welcome to do that. And then after Sergeant at Arms, we have a fellowship time that we continue onward from there as far as just to check in with what's going on. And if you'd like any more information about our club, you can put your information in the chat and email address, and one of the engagement committee members will reach out to you. So let's see, pledge. Pat Bath, would you like to start us up with the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Sure, please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. And Marker, you have the inspiration for us.
I do. It's one of my favorite quotes, and it's from Jimi Hendrix. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. That's it.
Okay. Absolutely true. Thank you. I thought I'd start us out also with a Rotary Minute and talking about the Rotary Foundation and what does the Paul Harris Fellowship mean that we talk about sometimes in our meetings. And it started with the Rotary Foundation in 1957. And the idea of a Paul Harris Fellow was first proposed. And it started with the concept of making $1,000 gifts to the foundation. But because of the budget, that was really hard for many people. So it's 70s it started to gain popularity. And there's a distinctive Paul Harris medallion, a lapel pin. And that's been kind of indicative of the financial contribution everybody makes to help out as far as Rotarians for the Rotary Foundation. And a Rotary, the companion to this is the Rotary Paul Harris Sustaining Member. And when an individual gives a first gift of $100, that makes them a sustaining member. And then you become a Paul Harris Fellow when the $1,000 is reached at any time. And right now there's, in 1994, there's 450,000 Paul Harris Fellows and sustaining members, and many more since then. And so you can, a special recognition pin is given to Paul Harris Fellows who make additional gifts of $1,000 to the foundation. And, you know, and while the pin is really appropriate, one of the big things is the good work that the Rotary Foundation does to help individuals around the world when we talk about Ukraine, as well as other disasters. So appreciate that as far as, well, they appreciate everybody's support of the Rotary Foundation. Are there any guests to introduce that would like to be introduced? We have some guests for the, which we'll introduce later on. As far as, Delynn, do you want to maybe just introduce individuals as far as your guests for the judges as well as the speakers for today and maybe their support?
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve. So today we have our three speakers.
Hard to hear you.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll.
That's better.
Is
Thanks.
that better? Okay. We have our three speakers. We have Hannah Bennett, who is our Hidden Valley representative. We have Sam Compost, who is our North Valley High School speaker. And we have McKay Pratt, who is representing Grants Pass High School for our three speakers. Josh, I think Josh Welch is on here. He's waving. He is here listening with us. And we also have present Ginger Lathan. She helps out with Grants Pass High School as well. Now, Sally, do you have the list of our
Yes.
individuals who are helping with being our judges?
Yes, thank you. We have both Reverend Ernestine Flemister, of St. Luke's Episcopal, and Reverend Tom Berry from Bethany Presbyterian, excuse me. Both of them are co-hosts on our Courageous Conversations. And Lutz Kramer, of course, our very own, dun, 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 is here as well.
Thank you, Sally.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any other guests? If not, you can feel free to. Go ahead.
Jolene has her hand up.
Okay, Jolene.
Hey, sitting over here next to me is my friend Lee, and she's joining us today.
Welcome, Lee. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I'd like to say that Lee, her last name is Lee Aguilar, and she and her husband own KA Designs here in Grants Pass, and they make some of the most fabulous furniture that you would ever see, and they're just great.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other guests? Okay, well, thank you. Introduction for all of that stuff. When would you like to give a healthcare update, please?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I'll be brief, and it's all good. And you know, the COVID hospitalizations across the state have really dropped off significantly. We're seeing the rates really much lower. We're so excited about that. It's really good sign, and I'm happy to report that 2 years in the pandemic, we are now being given the green light by CMS, which is the Center for Medicare, to lift the patient visitation restrictions. So starting tomorrow, like other hospitals in the country, we will return to the normal standard visitation policy, which is great. It's been really challenging for family members over the last couple of years. Additionally, all the screening procedures that we have at our visitor entrances will be removed, and that's great news as well. So we're super excited that we're in a position where the infection rate is much lower, hospitalizations are down, and these types of measures are no longer necessary. And we're just going to pray that we can continue in that direction and not have to go back to that in the future. But that's my report, and it's all good.
Great, thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Win? Okay, well, thank you very much. I also was going down the list and see Bruce Murray, and Bruce Murray has got a second posting for membership, and next week, hopefully he'll be inducted as a new member into our club. So welcome, Bruce. Valerie, would you like to give a city council update, please? Let's see you.
Valerie, I think you're muted.
It doesn't show muted, but your microphone is not picking you up. You might click on the little up arrow next to your microphone and check your sound settings. Steve, maybe move on.
I was gonna say we'll come back.
Yeah,
Valerie,
Valerie, just
back on.
shout out when you're ready and we'll catch you.
Okay, great. Jody, you had an update for us that you wanted to make on the food bank as far as the Light on Hunger.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm on the board of the Josephine County Food Bank, and I just kind of wanted to make sure everybody is aware we have a fundraiser. It's a silent auction, live auction dinner coming up. It's called Shining a Light on Hunger. I see quite a few people that are on here that have attended that in the past. It is coming up on Saturday, April 23rd. And if you're interested in tickets, you can sure go to the Josephine County Food Bank website and be able to see it and get there. We definitely could use the support, and it's a great night, a lot of fun. So that's super. On another note, just a real quickie for the update on Shoes That Fit. I had heard from the Shoes That Fit coordinator, they were not able, the school was not able to get all of the kids sized. They got a little over half of them sized before spring break started. So they're in the process of getting the rest of the shoe sizings now. So the shoes will be on order, and I will notify you guys when the shoes come in, and we'll be putting tags and stuff on them and kind of putting the sizes and stuff, and then we'll deliver them out to the school and be able to hopefully size them right on the kids. So anyway, it's coming up, but probably figure good 3 weeks to a month before the shoes arrive is going to be my guess.
Great. Thank you, Jody.
Thank you.
Doug, you want to talk about Porch Fest as far as the current status of events there, please?
Yeah, please. So we gathered all the required signatures to put the event on for June 18th. So the progress with the city is all, it's not quite finalized yet, but we're moving everything forward there. So for those of you who are new on this meeting, Porch Fest is our club signature event where we close down some streets in Northwest Washington area and schedule bands to play on porches for free. It's a community building event where we raise money through donations and raffles to fund youth activities. So the main update is that it looks like we're going to need as much help as possible on the day of June 18th, which is a Saturday. Our biggest need for bodies is to staff the barricades on the streets, which is basically you're standing there and you're click counting all the people that come in and make sure nobody tries to drive in. If anybody does drive in, you just get out of the way and call security, and then they come over and deal with it. But we do need you and your friends and your neighbors and everybody possible. That's about 20 people for 2 shifts. And then we also need Rotarians to work the event as well. So we needed quite a few people there. So please sign up for that and bring your neighbors and your friends and whatnot. The other announcement is tonight we have a social at Weekend Brewery. I believe it's scheduled for 5. Sometimes that place gets kind of crowded. So we got permission to bring our own chairs and we can set up outside around the fire pit or whatever. And we'll try to find one of those spots early, camp out there and then bring your own chairs in case they run out of chairs, please. That's it.
Okay, thank you. That crosses that one off the list too, as far as that one, as far as the tonight at 5:30. Now, next week is going to be our first hybrid meeting, and it's going to be a combination on Zoom and All Care Health. And it's going to be just same time, obviously, as this one. It'll give members an option to attend in person. And there will be a survey coming out this week to kind of just get an idea, because oftentimes it's like maybe a new restaurant opens in town and everybody wants to go check the new restaurant out. And I don't know if that's going to be what it's going to be like at the meeting room. We'll find out soon enough, but we'll open up with that. We're not going to have any lunches of any food available for our first few weeks to kind of just see how it goes with our meeting. We're going to ask people to be fully vaccinated that will attend, and we're also going to have masking out to just ensure that we do everything for the members that are attending and the guests and speakers for their safety. So Gina Marie's going to be sending out that survey tonight, so kind of watch for that as far as with that, as we kind of give an idea of what the attendance is going to look like. Does anybody else have any announcements or updates for the community or for our club?
Steve, I just noticed that I do have a guest here. Ronald Gordon is here. I invited him and he showed up today.
Okay. Welcome. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
You bet. Any other announcements? Okay. Well, now we're going to talk about which is our weekly program, and it's a special event because this is our 4-way speech competition. And we had our club event a few weeks ago, and we selected our speaker there. And from there, now we're going to be taking it one step further and talking about the 3 Grants Pass clubs are going to have the competition. And then the winner we'll have the judges that make the selection as far as the top vote getter for the of the local Grants Pass. And then that one will advance to the district competition, which is going to be held at the end of April up in Corvallis with the district conference. So Delynn, would you like to take this part of the meeting over? Appreciate that.
Great, thanks, Steve. So yes, we are very honored to have our 3 representatives of the high school today here giving their 4-way speech contest speeches. Our first speaker is going to be Hannah Bennett from Hidden Valley. Her topic is on profiling. Our second speaker will then be Sam Compost from North Valley High School. His speech is about counseling. And then our last is McKay Pratt from Grants Pass High. And his speech is going to be on the importance of face-to-face communication. So Hannah, when you're ready, take it away.
Great, thank you. Can everyone hear me? Okay. I am not a thief. My name is Hannah Bennett. I am a senior. I am a two-sport athlete. I have a 3.8 GPA. I have a part-time job. I serve in the community and I volunteer at my church. As I said before, I am not a thief, but in the summer of 2021, I was falsely accused of being one. For many, that was just another summer day. For me, that changed me as well as my future. I was profiled, blasted, and had my character diminished. On that day, I went shopping at local stores downtown with two of my friends on our one day off. We walked into a store we'd never been into, looked around for a little bit and left, and proceeded to go to a couple more stores before going home. About 2 hours later, I received a phone call from my dad that a picture had been posted of my two friends and I, and that the caption said we were shoplifters in the area. After all the time I have been given and the effort I've put out to bettering my community, it broke my heart to hear that an accusation as so was made by someone in that same community. I am heavily involved in the community as well as my school, and feared that people would think of me as someone I am not, and that opportunities I have worked so very hard for could be taken away. Throughout my high school career, I have made it my goal to be a light to those around me. And in this instance, I was seen as a shoplifter. My two friends and I were seen and profiled as a group of teenage girls that had gone into the same store and shoplifted. There was no evidence, face-to-face communication, or reason for us three to be profiled. Each of us have a job in the community and work hard for what we want. We were profiled a mere factor of us being teenage girls, and before we have even had the chance to defend ourselves. The world around us is hard enough that each day people profile one another upon gender, age, in our case, and on race. But in order to fully communicate this injustice that my friends and I were subjected to, I will put this experience through the Rotary four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? First, is it the truth? To put it bluntly, no, this was not the truth. My friends and I were out shopping to support local businesses in our community during a time that has been very hard for them, when we were unfairly profiled. But not only were we profiled, but it was done with no evidence and only upon assumptions. This business assumes simply because we fit the description of the actual suspects that we were the thieves. And rather than confronting us while we were in the store and ending the injustice right there, they immaturely decided to take the issue onto social media and post a picture of 3 underage girls and labeled us as criminals. It is evident that this is not the truth and was not the truth. Next, is it fair to all concerned? No, this was not fair to all concerned. It hurt not only us, but our entire future of possibilities that was almost pulled right from under us. We as individuals are not only a reflection of ourselves, but our families as well as our community. For me personally, my grandpa, Jim Clark, had such an immensely positive impact on the community that to this day, many still benefit from what he did. His example was something that I looked up to, and I made it my lifelong goal to be a light just as he was. Seeing something that labeled me as the opposite of that and something I knew my grandpa would not be proud of. Even though this accusation was false, it made me believe I was less of a person and more of a label. And although this issue has been resolved, I still do not feel comfortable shopping in that area of the community. And thirdly, will it build goodwill and better friendships? No, this did not build good friendships or increase the goodwill of those involved. In fact, it created an almost irreparable separation between the community and I after the accusation was made. My friends that were also accused wanted to sweep this incident under the rug, but I wanted to capitalize on this event so I could prevent future profiling so others would not have to go through what we experience. I cannot see a way in which an event like this would create or strengthen friendships and goodwill. Lastly, will it be beneficial to all concerned? To put it simply, while in most cases it is beneficial to the business in order to catch thieves, it was not to this business because they profiled 3 young girls who were not involved and let the actual perpetrators get away unscathed. While a part of me is grateful I have gone through this experience so that I can now help others, it is something I would not wish upon anyone. And with going through this experience, I now know the irrevocable damage profiling causes. So, should they have profiled us? No, it was not the truth. It was not fair to all concerned. It did not build goodwill and better friendships. And it was not beneficial to all concerned. Remember, I am Hannah Bennett, and I am not a thief.
Wow, thank you so much, Hannah. Appreciate that. Good job. All right, we'll take a few minutes.
Thank you.
Take a few minutes to let the judges get a few notes down. Sorry, I had to turn my video off because my feed was a little slow, so bear with me on that one. Just
Okay,
while we're-
during this time, could we have like 2 happy bucks to give the judges time to deliberate?
Sure.
Okay. Anyone have a happy buck? Oh my gosh.
Jim Lefebvre here. I got happy bucks.
Okay, Jim.
I'm
fire
happy.
away.
I'm happy. Tomorrow, my wife and I go on our first travel trailer trip to Utah, to the national monuments. First, we're going to go to Arches, and then to Monument Valley, and then to Bryce and Zion, and then up to Great Basin. And if the weather's good, then we're going to go down to the Owens Valley and up above Big Pine into the Eastern Sierras. Then I'm going to visit my my college roommate, hopefully on the way back home. And God willing, we will get back safely before the end of April. So that's got to be worth 25 happy bucks.
You got me all excited, Jim. That was something else. It was almost like, but wait, there's more. Very good. Anyone else?
I got happy bucks, Dawn.
Okay.
So I want to say it is a beautiful day outside, and I'm thrilled for that. And I've had the opportunity the last couple of days to play around in the garage and make yard art, which is my favorite hobby. And it's been a wonderful few days, and I really enjoy it.
Very good. And I've got some stuff for you, Doug, if you're ready to take it for your yard art. Okay, before we go to the next speaker, I checked on some things about public speaking and words of wisdom from famous speakers. Lord Reading offered this advice to people doing public speaking: always be shorter than anyone dared to hope. Okay, let's go on to the next speaker.
All right, thanks, Dawn. Our next speaker is Sam Compost from North Valley.
Hello. Just forewarning, the bell is about to ring. So if in the middle of my speech you hear a loud buzz, it's my school bell. Alrighty. Hello, my name is Sam Campos. I am a senior at North Valley High School. I'm a California transplant who has fallen in love with Southern Oregon. My dream is to find a career that allows me to support my present and future family while also helping others. School counseling. This will aid my own life goals. It also allows me to do so while hitting every prong of the 4-way test. To achieve my goals, I must continue on with my education at the next level, as well as growing as an individual. Is this the truth? This statement is the clearest to me, as being a school counselor is what I strive to accomplish, and I will do whatever it takes to get there. I have never felt like I had my own true passion, but I have found the flame in my soul, and it is helping others. Nothing compares to the feeling that resonates through me while having meaningful conversations with people close to me, as well as complete strangers. This is my truth. Mental health is a very important topic to me, and I believe that. As a whole, therapy is vastly overpriced, making it unavailable to many who so desperately need assistance. This is why the concept of being a school counselor inserts joy behind my smile. School counseling is open to all, and thus affirms the belief of being fair to all concerned. Through school counseling, I will be able to provide for my family without emptying the pockets of those I am helping. My mother has always told me I've never met a stranger. I love speaking with others, no matter who they are, classmates, teachers, workers, or even someone in line next to me. I'm intrigued to hear their own individual stories. This is where my future again intersects with Rotarian principles. Counseling will allow me to extend goodwill as well as building friendship. Although I understand there must be a level of professionalism between students and their counselor, it is essential there be a meaningful and authentic connection for counseling to work properly. I believe I have this innate ability. Finally, I will be able to benefit all who are concerned. I will be the first line of defense to properly assist children toward their successful futures. I can show them it is okay to talk to a therapist. No one wants to feel that something is wrong with them, which prevents many people from seeking the help they so desperately need, which I've experienced myself. Sometimes you feel like you're an outsider, you're different because you're struggling with mental health, and it's something that people need to learn that everyone goes through, and it's okay to talk to someone. On another note, I personally enjoy the neurological aspect of why we do the things we do. And I often find myself analyzing people in my day-to-day life. What trauma responses do individuals have? What is genetic? And what environments shape the people in front of me? All these questions intrigue me greatly and are an essential aspect of achieving my goal of helping others. It is an honor to be selected as the current Rotary Student of the Year for North Valley. And with this newly bestowed recognition, I plan to exemplify the award by using the 4-way test in every aspect of my life. This honor is one I really am proud of because I'm part of the North Valley Interact Club, and we just finished a local project of cleaning the river at Ennis Park, and I just feel great after every service I do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. Good job. All right, so we'll get into
Okay.
a few minutes.
Yeah, how about some more happy bucks? I'm just happy for the speakers. So I'm going to preempt this and give 20 happy bucks for our wonderful young speakers. Others.
Well, so I'm happy. Last Thursday, Diane Hoover met with a small group of people, including me and Doug, to talk about setting up some kind of food over the weekend system for the schools. And there's going to be monthly meetings. The next one will be the second Monday in April. And so anyone interested in that project can contact me or Doug or Diane and join us. Thank you.
Very good. All right. Does someone want another piece of wisdom about public speaking from Franklin Roosevelt? Be sincere, be brief, and be seated. And another one, a successful speech needs to have a great introduction and a memorable ending, and that both of these should be close together with not much in between. Is that enough time, do we think? Okay.
I haven't heard from a couple of my judges.
All right.
They're private messaging me when they're done.
Okay, so here's another one from a famous speaker. Make sure you have finished speaking before your audience has finished listening. That's something I need to remember.
Seeing Josh Welch makes me think of the, we're going to have a kind of a groups of all the Rotary clubs getting together at Wildlife Images on May 19th from 5 to 7 p.m. And there's a sign up in your in the e-navigator, and it's going to be for families, and it's going to be a chance for all the Josephine County Rotary clubs to get together and kind of have some fellowship together as all the 4 local Rotary clubs, and see Wildlife Images, what's new out there. Many of us, because of the COVID, have not been out there for some time, but it's a great opportunity. And also, Jim, because I reached that magic age of, well, I didn't realize you could do it at 62, but I got my National Park Service kind of good for entrance. $80 will get you any national park for the rest of your life. So it seemed like a really good value when I go up snowmobiling at Crater Lake, and being able to, you can go to any national park with their park pass. So it's a good opportunity if you don't know about that one. See our beautiful.
Yeah,
national
Steve,
parks.
I got mine when they were $10.
Okay, good for you.
Okay, I believe we're ready to move on. Thank you.
All right, great. And our speaker, our last speaker is McKay Pratt from Grants Pass High.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me well? All right, awesome. All right, here we go. All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is McKay Pratt. Super excited to be here. I'm a sophomore at Grants Pass High School, just living the American dream. As I was thinking about topics that are really important to me, I was thinking about communication. And I thought about how much communication has changed through COVID, the COVID pandemic, and especially quarantine. Things like Zoom, Google Meets, and texting have become somewhat the norm of where education happens, but also where people text their friends and where interactions happen. Because of this, a lot of people think that they don't need that face-to-face interaction anymore because they have their cell phones. Today, I'm going to be talking about why face-to-face interaction is still very much a necessity, but also why it's a skill that everyone should try to attain and take advantage of as much as possible. I'm going to be proving this using the 4-way Rotary test. Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build better friendships? And is it beneficial to all concerned? So first off, I want to talk about the truth. During the COVID pandemic, we got quarantined and we all felt by ourselves. We were isolated. And even though I know I was texting all my friends, asking them how I was doing, I was just prolonging that friendship as long as I could. I wasn't building it stronger. And so as our friendships began to die out a little bit, we began to feel isolated and lonely. And unfortunately, a bad effect of this was that there were a lot more suicides and depression. And that's true. And the truth that I'm trying to prove to you right now is that this face-to-face interaction is something that we all need, not only to benefit ourselves, but it's something we really truly need in order to live and build others up as well as ourselves. Next, I want to talk about how it's fair. Personally, I have a Motorola phone, and that means that I don't get a lot of the same, my phone doesn't have the same abilities as some of the other people, which shouldn't be a big deal. But due to the fact I can't play video games or I can't do FaceTime, there's a lot of times I'm left out of social interactions. And that's not fair. One, for the person that can't afford it, but also for guys like me that just would rather prefer talking to somebody in person. So it's not fair when someone isn't able to be a part of a conversation. And it's become a little bit of who has what and who doesn't have that. And that's not fair. I remember in 6th grade, I went to lunch one day and I was the only kid without a phone. And even though I was at the table where it happened, I wasn't on that text stream. So I wasn't able to be a part of that conversation. And that's not fair to everyone. So we need to take advantage of face-to-face interaction because one, it's free, but also, like I'm going to touch on more today, so much stronger than texting. Next, I want to talk about better friendships. During pandemic, I just saw my friends through a little box on Zoom, kind of like right now. And I'll tell you what, once the teacher said, hey, class is over, it ended. I didn't even see my friends. But that's really not what friendship is. For me, friendship is all about the hugs, the fist bumps, the laughing your head off with your buddies and keeping those connections as strong as possible. So now that I'm back at school, which I'm super excited to be at school, after school, I'll just talk to as many people as possible or have a guy walk me out to my car just to keep those friendships going. And also now that I'm at school, it's so much easier to make more friends. So not only will you be making more friends, but you're also going to be keeping your friendship strong and you're going to be making new memories that you're going to remember for a lifetime. And you're going to be able to build your friends up. Next, I want to talk about how this is beneficial to the world. Recently, I got wind that my neighbor's wife unfortunately passed away. And so I just knocked on his door. I said, hey, how can I help? What can I do for you? He said, well, actually, I need some help moving some stuff. And so I worked for him for 3 hours. And the whole time I was actually able to help him because he was going through a tough time and he felt isolated himself. And so I was able to talk to him, do some work for him. and give back to the community. And that's really where this face-to-face interaction comes in so powerful, because it gives us an opportunity to meet up in the community and help people out. It gives us an opportunity to help out that person that we don't even know, that kid in the corner that's having a tough day and by themselves. We want to find that person online. One, because people only want to portray the best part of them, but also a terrible trend of media is that we break people down. And taking advantage of that face-to-face interaction means going up to them and saying, hey, how can I help you? I'm sorry you're having a tough day. And how beneficial that is to our world. I think that while face-to-face interaction is great for making our friendship stronger, it's also good for when you're having a conflict for somebody. And nowadays media can determine what we think of someone before we even know them. If people from conflicting sides just came together without the media and just sat down and discussed something, even if they were going to disagree, they at least now know, hey, I understand what they're thinking. I want to finish this off with a simple analogy. Every single person's phone probably has an emoji. And emojis are little face icons used in a text conversation to portray what we're thinking and what our face should look like. But I'll tell you what, that crying, laughing emoji looks nothing like me crying, laughing on the floor. And even though we use emojis to fill that gap, it's never going to be the same. And face-to-face interaction can truly never be replaced. Thank you guys so much. I'm honored to be a part of this, and you guys have a great day.
Great, thank you so. All right. Take a few minutes here for the judges to finish up on this one.
I'm going to go ahead. That was our 3 speeches, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
There's no more. Then I'm going to go ahead and open up the breakout rooms for us, and we'll be back when we're done.
Well, should we continue? Oh, good, Valerie. Can you speak now? Oh, we can't hear you.
Valerie, if you have something plugged in like earphones or something like that, no, that might sometimes does it.
I do feel your pain, Valerie. I've been there.
If you have a microphone that is like an exterior microphone, I just have to unplug mine and plug it back in, and sometimes it works. But if it's in the computer, then it won't help.
She has an idea.
Yeah.
In the meantime, any stories? Happy, sad updates?
I have a happy buck.
Okay.
I just got done reading the Row Motors on a sneak preview, the back of the page, and it was about Betty LeDuc's Fire, Fury, and Resilience. And I thought it was a great article that highlighted a lot of things to be grateful for, like Hyla and the art in our community. And also it made me think of how happy the airport makes me feel. So probably because I'm going on a trip when I'm there. So anyway, her artwork is beautiful at the airport. It was a good article. So happy bucks.
Very good.
Probably for last week too. So
I got one.
Okay.
Well, this must be a bittersweet one because it must be. I feel terrible we can't hear Valerie, and it must, on her part, it's tough for a politician to talk and can't be heard. I got 20 happy bucks, sad bucks, whatever you want to call it for that.
Valerie, we don't have any idea what's going on in the city. Darn
Yeah.
it. Other thoughts?
I'll share a happy buck. You're gonna have to collect from Don Welch though. So I think I'm good for it, but she'll have to kick in a happy buck. I just wanted to mention, you probably saw this in the Courier. I know that your club has participated as well, but I think we've raised over close to $70,000 in our community, in our extended Rotary community, to help out in Ukraine. And those funds are continuing to come in. So I just wanted to thank your support on that project. It's pretty amazing that our community, a Rotary connection, has raised that much money. And basically what's happening is that's getting funneled to a Rotary club in Portland, where a former exchange student is a member for 1 month. So this former exchange student, 1 month member of a Rotary club, and has brought in $70,000 to help with buying medical supplies for the situation in Ukraine. So just wanted to thank you for your support in that project, and very happy that Rotary is helping that horrible situation that we're witnessing in Ukraine.
Absolutely. And Josh Welch, thank you for at one time being a Rotary exchange student. Those exchange students are amazing people. And you're no exception, of course, but I am your mother. Kelly.
Well, I got to have the honor of being the timekeeper. I want to give $10 to each for each of these unbelievable speakers. I'm so happy that this generation of students and young adults are thoughtful and kind, and the person that we want all of this generation to be. They're exemplary.
Absolutely. It does give us a sense of hope. Others. We should have like some music. Let's see. The kind of music it used to be. Da, 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 da.
Jeopardy.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Da, 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 da,
There you go. James, you have your hand up. It's timely too, because Kelly and I are trying to sing. Unmute yourself.
I heard that, so yeah. Yeah, it's I'll give a couple of happy bucks just because I went out to the Clear Creek Clinic in Selma this morning to get my second booster shot for the COVID thing. Even though we're pretty much putting up an all clear these days, I'm ready. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Very good. Bev, you have something?
Yes, I wanted to say that I really liked how all of the students today talked about connecting and connections with people and how important all that was and in the way you connect. So I appreciated that.
Very good.
I thought their message about mental health was so appropriate.
Yes.
Included with that message about that, the importance of mental health among students and adults, obviously.
Valerie is on a phone.
Just as an idea, or as the district conference, so the top vote getter will get the opportunity to go to Corvallis to the district conference and make a presentation. So one of the three will go up there, and the first prize up there is $3,500. The second prize is $200, and the third place gets $150. The top vote getter for today will receive $250. So that's the prize award. So there's opportunity for some opportunity to make a few extra dollars in addition to the experience of going through this competition. to reach this level is really, really great to see.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
There is something wrong with my computer, and I was using it in Texas, and so who knows what happened back in Texas when I was doing my meeting back there. Anyway, so I'm just going to keep this short and sweet. Number one, I wanted to give happy bucks because I did just return from Austin, and I had the opportunity to spend a week with my grandchildren, 3 of them from Portland, all 4 of my children, and we had an absolutely wonderful time in Austin. I'm so thankful for the wonderful family I have and the wonderful relationship I have. And we had so much fun. One of the funnest things was going out on the donut boat that my youngest daughter, Captain Kelly, took us out on, and we were able to watch the bats. I don't know if you're aware of Austin, but they have a bridge that every night, like thousands of bats come out from. So that was a real treat. So that's my happy bucks, and I will give $25 for that. And just a short little city update. We are this next Monday going to be talking about both our ARPA funding as well as our low-income housing or affordable housing. So a lot of things are going on kind of behind the scene right now. And in this next meeting next Wednesday, we will be talking a little bit about parklets, council action, as where we're moving with that, and minimum density. So there we go, all on the phone. So if you have any questions, good time to ask, but it's wonderful to be back in town and see everybody.
I do give you A+ for creativity and resiliency to get on. That's awesome.
I think Jim Huber could say a few things about Austin, Texas, since he was there for a period of time and probably watched the bats a lot.
Yeah, the bats it's the Congress Avenue Bridge. It goes over what they call Town Lake. And yeah, well, Don, you would like Austin because it has great running trails. And if you ran along the hike and bike, they call it the hike and bike trail at the right hour, usually evening, you had to be careful. You didn't get swarmed by these bats. But yeah, and then of course, Austin is also famous for great music and great food.
It is a wonderful city. I like the fact that they were the original ones to say, keep Austin weird. That's what I like.
I ate Chivo the first time in Austin.
You ate what?
Chivo. Chivo is a baby goat.
Really? John Jones, you are always an explorer, a food explorer, and a great winemaker also.
That
So
was
there.
in the restaurant, by the way.
You know, speaking of bats, there's a bats located much closer to home, and it's on the Lava Beds National Monument. And I went down there with Siskiyou Field Institute. By the way, that's Siskiyou Field Institute. And the bats, there's just bats by the thousands that go in. You go camping there, and you see them go out at night, and then they come back in the morning. But at the lava beds, it's really a cool thing. But it's interesting. The National Park Service took us in there, and they pretty much blindfold you on the way in because they want to keep the bats safe from visitors. So I couldn't go back and find that place because we hiked in around maybe 3 to 4 miles, but they had us turn around many times so that we couldn't go back and find the same place again. They want to keep it safe.
Well, if anybody really wants to see bats, we have about a colony of about 40 bats that come underneath our deck every year. And yeah, we spend a little time in the evenings just watching them drop out and fly away. And then they leave when the fall comes and they come back in the summer.
They're really great for our ecology.
They are, but they're not really attractive.
No, they're not. But they do keep the mosquito population down.
That's what I'm counting on. Other thoughts?
I forgot to mention this. This is Kelly. Tommy and Sue Orris and myself, we were lucky enough to be able to sign up for the meal train, which is the giving of dinners to the warming shelter. That's where Kairos used to be. and you sign up if any of you want to do it. It was really worth doing. We split it up so that one did a main dish, one did a salad, and I did dessert. And we brought it over there, and it's being run by Rogue Retreat, which they're doing a great job. And even if you're not wanting to make food for this, you might want to bring over things like paper towels, toilet paper, paper plates, condiments, that sort of thing. They do need them. And so it's a very good experience. That's all I needed to say.
So when you were there, Kelly, how many people were using the facility?
They're averaging around 25.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I threw a few extra.
We threw in a little bit of extra because you want to also feed the staff.
Right.
But what was that, Steve?
The judges are back. It looks like Sally's got a note in the chat.
Are you ready for us?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So to each one of our students, thanks again. This is always a treat. This is one of our favorite parts of being in the Rotary Club, is seeing our youth and seeing the next great leaders. And so without further ado, and of course it was close, our first prize is going to McKay Pratt, and you are being awarded $250. Second place is Hannah Bennett, and you're getting $200. And third place is Sam Campos, $150. McKay, mark your calendar. You will be going to the April District Conference. And if you win first prize there, that is a $3,500 award to go for college.
Awesome. Thank you
You can
guys
do
so
whatever
much.
you want with it.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all three contestants. You're all winners. Did a great job. Thank you to our judges. Appreciate your willingness to come and do this difficult job and make this difficult selection, because it is, they did a good job of making presentations. Thank you so much. Let's see. Dawn, do you want to go into Happy Bucks? People now are welcome to stay on for Happy Bucks to learn more about Rotary. We'll have some more fun for an opportunity for Happy Bucks. And then after that, we'll have a chance. After that, people can stay on for additional time for additional club fellowship. So Dawn, what do you have left?
Okay, well, I mean, I kind of exhausted it all in these intermissions, but finally, here is a question. What's the most important element of public speaking? Does anybody have an idea? Most important element of public speaking?
Listening.
No, it's the podium. And our three wonderful speakers didn't need a podium to do the excellent job that they did. We're just really proud of all of you. Okay, so I hope I haven't exhausted Happy Bucks. We kind of like to bring that money coming in. Anyone else?
So I have a question. This social tonight, is it at 5 o'clock or 5:30?
I heard 5:30.
I think
or
it's
at least
right after this meeting.
yes.
We'll start early.
Right.
I think
There'll be
actually,
a lot
I
of
think-
face-to-face.
Yeah, I think in that range is good. 5 o'clock, it's be good if somebody could show up at 5 o'clock to get tables reserved, because oftentimes that's a little bit of a challenge up there. But anytime in that 5 to 5:30 range, it'll be there. Refreshments will be there.
Okay, it looks like Margaret has her hand up. Margaret?
Sorry, that's me. I'm at Margaret's desk. That was supposed
Your
to be
voice has changed.
that was supposed to be a thumbs up for starting the social right after the meeting ends. But I was going to say that it is difficult to get tables, especially together. I think Sally was there last week or two ago when we were there with our daughter and granddaughters, and by about 5 o'clock, it starts to get pretty crowded. So if we have some early birds who can nail down a couple of picnic tables or something, that should be helpful.
It sounds as well that we're allowed to bring chairs in. I believe that Doug said that. So if we have a folding chair and bring that in, that would be helpful too. So John Jones, you have your hand up.
I want us to meet together for lunch.
Oh. Well, that's being worked on. And next week, you have your opportunity. Steve, can people bring it? You know, I realize that as far as what the food situation will be, it's going to take some time, but can people bring like a brown bag?
No food.
I would think so. Go ahead. We would, I think for the first week, we prefer people not bring it, just to try it out. This is a new experience for us. We want to succeed. And I think it'd be just to kind of keep things as safe as possible. The first week, we prefer people not bring food. But after that, we're going to evaluate to see what works, what doesn't work. And because some people on this whole level are different, we all have different comfort levels. And we just want to try and arrange it so that we're as comfortable and safe as possible for everyone. And so I think for the first week at least, we're going to evaluate it with masking on, asking everyone to be fully vaccinated and not bringing food, and then see how it works. We don't know how many people will show up, that type of thing. And we're trying to make things as simple as possible and for as, frankly, for as few things to go wrong as possible for me as club president.
Sally, you have your hand up.
I'm sorry, Steve, if you mentioned this earlier for hybrid, but if you're coming in person and you have a laptop or even your phone and you can log in and just keep your sound off, that way people can see your faces if they're coming from home. And that helps a lot.
Great point. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Brenda.
I had an idea. I was thinking this morning, the grilled cheese sandwich big contest is on that week. And I thought maybe some of us could get together at 11 and try out grilled cheese sandwiches. And that way we can have our lunch. And I thought I remembered somebody saying, don't bring any food to Asante right off. So it's just an idea. And I'm so anxious to sit down and be able to talk to folks that if that could happen, that'd be great.
Well, where would you like to meet for anyone who's interested in meeting at 11 of the grilled cheese sandwich participating restaurants?
I don't even know who that is because I don't get.
You know what? Expires. It actually. I was just checking. I'm looking on the website now. It expires at the end of March. They're going to announce the
today.
today.
Okay.
So I say if you want a grilled cheese sandwich, I would say go buy it today.
There you go.
Because winners are going to be announced on April 5th.
Scratch that as an idea for next week then.
Well, you can still go get a grilled cheese sandwich. It just won't go toward the food bank.
Or we can go somewhere too.
Yeah.
But anyway, for what it's worth.
Very good. Okay, Steve, I don't see any more hands and it looks
Okay.
like it's time.
It is. Yes, absolutely. I will say that the thought for the week, this is a Native American proverb. Tell me and I'll forget. Show me and I may not remember, but involve me and I'll understand. And I thought that was quite an appropriate one. With that, I will end the meeting. Okay, and we're going to have some additional time to check in with each other, and that's the official adjourning of the meeting, but people are still welcome to stay on, obviously, from here on out. Thank you, and have a great week, everyone. Thank you again to the contestants as well as the judges.